You can handle it. Your Tri-State BMW dealer.
Next, on Great Performances, artist David Hockney creates a striking, magical setting for the San Francisco opera production of Giacomo Puccini's spectacular final work, Turandot. Soprano Eva Marton is the Princess Turandot. Michael Sylvester, the unknown Prince Calaf. Based on an ancient Asian fairy tale set in the forbidden city of Peking, the story explores the universal human emotions of hope, sacrifice, and love. Turandot, next. Great Performances is made possible by the National Endowment for the Arts, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by the financial support of viewers like you, and by Duracell, which proudly supports Great Performances, television's longest-running performance series. Duracell, the copper-top battery. Special funding for this program is provided by Dorothy and Louis Cullman. In a moment, Act 2 of Turandot from the San Francisco Opera, with Eva Marton in the title role. Special funding for this program is provided by Dorothy and Louis Cullman. Great Performances is made possible by the National Endowment for the Arts, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by the annual financial support from viewers like you, and by Duracell, which proudly supports Great Performances, television's longest-running performance series. Duracell, the copper-top battery. This is PBS, the Public Broadcasting Service.
This week on Masterpiece Theatre, political intrigue in post-Thatcher England.
It may be someone very close to you, Prime Minister. Someone you've always trusted and who now wants to break you.
I've heard hints that the tabloids are going to mount a personal attack on the PM, a particularly nasty one. They're going to use his brothers. Shame.
Ian Richardson stars in House of Cards on Masterpiece Theatre.
Dark and witty British politics, Sunday night at 9.
On the next, I'll Fly Away.
What kind of questions are you asking me? What's any of this got to do with voting?
You don't care about anybody's feelings except your own.
That's not true. I'm getting sick and tired of you hurtling these insults at me.
You won your case, and in the process, you alienated half the voters.
Why don't you tell us why you sent old Dwight Tully away?
Dwight Tully murdered a man.
Excuse me. I'd like to register to vote.
Trying Times, Monday night at 8.
A new city, a new job, a new life. Just the thing for a young girl from Ohio.
Marianne Singleton. Fantabulous.
You think she's too green.
You're from Cleveland, aren't you? You're freaked, aren't you?
American Playhouse presents Tales of the City, a story of innocence, the search for love, and limitless possibilities. Say it with a friend.
The 3-night event begins Monday, January 10th at 9.
Great Performances will return in a moment with the fateful final act of Puccini's Turandot. Special funding for this program is provided by Dorothy and Louis Cullman. Great Performances is made possible by the National Endowment for the Arts, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by the annual financial support from viewers like you, and by Duracell, which proudly supports Great Performances, television's longest-running performance series. Duracell, the copper-top battery. This is PBS, the Public Broadcasting Service.
There's a special sparkle to the Blue Danube and every other waltz, march, and polka you'll enjoy when Walter Cronkite takes you to Vienna for a New Year's concert in grand Viennese style. Happy New Year from Vienna, where Loren Meisel conducts the Vienna Philharmonic in a sweetly swirling all-Strauss New Year's celebration.
Songs to welcome the new year. Tonight at 8.
Join Dixie Carter, Len Cariou, Blossom Dearie, Shirley Horn, and the legendary Bobby Short for a spectacular evening of Cabaret with President and Mrs. Clinton in performance at the White House.
Capitol Entertainment, Friday night at 10.
Special funding for this program was provided by Dorothy and Louis Cullman. Great Performances is made possible by the National Endowment for the Arts, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by the annual financial support from viewers like you, and by Duracell, which proudly supports Great Performances, television's longest-running performance series. Duracell, the copper-top battery. This is PBS.
For over 25 years, we've been telling the stories that make you think, that make you feel. Stories that reflect the soul of a nation and open minds to ideas that hadn't been considered before. There are countless stories waiting to be told, and public television intends to tell them all. This season, public television demonstrates how to succeed in big business, the fine art of mergers, increasing your net worth, building company morale, and above all, keeping an eye on the bottom line.
I guess I've got one thought on my mind, and that's winning, and that's it.
Tune into the high-pressure, big-money game of professional sports. The off-field wheeling and dealing that's almost a sport in itself. Power Plays. The fashion. The music. The hair. The spirit of 76 is back.
Fantabulous!
1976.
You're freaked, aren't you?
Revel in the freedom.
Well, we shared a fabric softener. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Tempt your taste buds.
These brownies loaded?
It's the San Francisco 70s in Armistead Maupin's Tales of the City.
Don't you just adore the Captain and Tennille?
Somewhere in the darkened streets of London, a monster lurks.
He beats up on the young kids. His name's Jackson. James Jackson.
And only Jane Tennyson stands between him and his next victim.
Whose idea was it to bring her here? Bloody loose cannon, huh?
Well, we can't tell her to back off, not with this journalist.
Helen Mirren returns in the newest chapter of the Emmy-winning drama, Prime Suspect 3.
I've got him. And this time I'm ready for him.
One day on the plains of Africa, a creature rose up on two legs and a new species was born. Now, 3.5 million years later, Nova returns in a controversial search for human origins. Did ancient people exterminate their more primitive ancestors? Have we found Lucy's mate? Follow the footprints of our ancestors back to the birthplace of mankind. The Cold War is over, but now the real battle begins.
We were losing huge sums of money. We had to change. We were forced to change.
Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Hedrick Smith probes the economic and political challenges facing America as it enters the 21st century.
We're talking about kids in the middle of Japan getting a level of education that's maybe at the top 5 to 10% of the American student population.
Has the economic threat from Japan and Germany become the greatest challenge to America? He united a people.
That's why we loved him. He said it out loud, not behind closed doors. He took on America for us.
He divided a nation.
As Muslims, we believe that separation is the best way and the only sensible way, not integration.
Now share an intimate look at the most controversial leader of the civil rights movement, Malcolm X.
We're nonviolent with people who are nonviolent with us. But we are not nonviolent with anyone who is violent with us.
This is the world. This is the world on public television. Come explore it with us. Nova continues its 20th anniversary celebration with programs that open the doors of science. During World War II, the Allies developed a secret weapon more powerful than any bomb.
He said, if you talk about what goes on here, you will be shot.
Journey into the shadowy realm of the codebreakers. Then,
Mike here.
Yeah.
I found a monster.
Explore the world's greatest prehistoric graveyard in the forbidden, isolated regions of Central Asia in search of dinosaurs of the Gobi.
It takes complete focus and concentration to be able to put fear aside and just to get the job done and get that check back aboard safe.
Join the crew of the USS Independence for a below-the-decks look at the most formidable ship in the sea, the aircraft carrier. Nature embarks on one of its most unusual voyages when the animal kingdom is set to the music of composer Philip Glass. Don't miss Anima Mundi. And on the California coast, a heartwarming tale of orphaned otters and the humans who adopt them. And in England, nature explores a forest's rebirth and the return of the world's largest hawk, the goshawk. Can man recreate what he once destroyed? On Alaska's Kodiak Island lives the world's largest carnivore, the Kodiak bear. National Geographic treks into the bear's domain to see how they live and whether they can share their home with man.
We've been able to work along with the bear here, and the bear's able to do his thing while we're doing our thing.
And take an unprecedented look at elephant society and the complex patterns of their lives. From the makers of Eternal Enemies comes Reflections on Elephants.
Well, we're just going for a little ride. I think you'll enjoy this.
Only a dummy would miss the new season of Scientific American Frontiers. Alan Alda takes you from the mountaintop to the pitcher's mound in a special on sports that's sure to be a hit. Wherever there's a stage, wherever there is music, wherever the magic of performance fills the air, you'll find public television. This season, American Playhouse presents the critically acclaimed film, Brother's Keeper.
You know the difference between the truth and a lie, don't you?
Maybe, maybe not.
This disturbing documentary tells the story of the Ward brothers, how they lived, and how one of them died.
They said he'd been dead since midnight.
That's right.
And he's gonna kill his own brother and then sleep beside him the rest of the night till 5 o'clock.
That's right. That's right.
Then,
my father's a crazy old man.
Says here 7 people were killed and he's responsible.
Suppose you believe everything you read, right?
2 brothers hit the road in search of their wayward father in Hal Hartley's quirky hit, Simple Men.
What is that thing?
That's the Blessed Virgin, Ned.
She's pretty, huh?
Not only is she pretty, but she's got a nice personality. And she's the mother of God.
Do you believe in the existence of vampires?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, sir.
There speaks the voice of wisdom.
Sherlock Holmes confronts the forces of evil in a mystery with a supernatural twist.
He's killing everyone!
Now take her. Take your creature, but leave my wife and my boy.
Holmes and Watson could be in trouble, up to their necks. Then Inspector Morse reignites an old flame.
We were engaged to be married.
But will his passion blind him from the truth?
That's the price I've got to pay for seeing you now. And so be it.
This is madness. Madness. My father-in-law killed himself. Everybody knows that.
Now 2 soldiers return to old battlefields to relive conquests from their past.
We've got to settle this. It is settled. She's coming with me.
All's fair in love and war when Masterpiece Theater presents A Foreign Field.
In which one do I get to go in?
Alec Guinness, Lauren Bacall, and Leo McKern had an all-star cast. Then, the long-awaited sequel to the acclaimed House of Cards.
A new king, a new age of hope and peace and spiritual growth, etc. And I'm still here.
Ian Richardson stars in a riveting story of political intrigue to play the king. And cinema legend Ingmar Bergman weaves a tale of forbidden love and its tragic consequences in The Best Intentions.
Be prepared for a big sound. If I don't collapse, this is right.
Great Performances turns its spotlight on the most acclaimed classical pianist of our time in Vladimir Horowitz, A Reminiscence. And Broadway meets Tinseltown in an all-star tribute to composer Jerry Herman. Carol Channing, B. Arthur, Rita Moreno, and more sing the hits from Hello, Dolly to La Cage aux Folles. The Metropolitan Opera presents Verdi's tragic tale of love torn asunder, E. Lombardi, Luciano Pavarotti, Samuel Ramey, and Aprile Milo star with James Levine conducting. And take a special visit backstage at Lincoln Center. And on stage, join Pavarotti for a musical spectacular that spotlights opera stars of today and tomorrow, live from Lincoln Center.
Being close to you.
She's the voice of a generation.
Far away. Doesn't anybody stay?
And one of the most important pop songwriters of this century. Now catch Carole King in a rare concert appearance, performing her classic hits and newest favorites. Don't miss Carole King, A New Color in the Tapestry. There's a party at 123 Sesame Street, and your whole family's invited. The Sesame Street Gang celebrates its 25th birthday the only way they know how, with music.
Oh, I love trash.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You
Sing along with Ernie,
so fun.
Bert,
Oh, I'm grooving now.
and of course, Big Bird, as they perform their favorite songs and yours.
Sing out loud.
Bravo, Channel 13. The Tri-State BMW dealers are proud to help you handle another great performance. You can handle it. Your Tri-State BMW dealer.
Patagonia is home to creatures you won't find anywhere else in the world. Because there's nowhere else on Earth quite like the wild shores of Patagonia. And we'll take you there next time on Nature.
Argentina, from the Andes to the Atlantic, Sunday night at 8.
You must remember this, a kiss is just a kiss, a sigh is just a sigh.
A fond look back at a Hollywood classic.
The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Here's looking at you, kid. Casablanca, a 50th anniversary special.
And when two lovers...
You must remember this, Tuesday night at 8.
Yeah, you can clear. 121. The gun business, next time on Adam Smith.
Thursday night at 8, followed by Informed Sources.
When you think of the size of Channel 13's audience, it's almost impossible to grasp. As a performer, you're grateful to reach the back row, the person in the last seat. But 13 reaches everywhere. Your audience is sitting in a tiny mountain town or a city apartment or a farm in the middle of nowhere. 13 is the link between all the creative people in this town and people all over America. I love that.
A new city, a new job, a new life. Just the thing for a young girl from Ohio.
Marianne Singleton. Fantabulous.
You think she's too green.
You're from Cleveland, aren't you? You're freaked, aren't you? American Playhouse presents Tales of the City, a story of innocence, the search for love, and limitless possibilities. See it with a friend.
The 3-night event begins Monday, January 10th at 9.